Hello, welcome to the Blue Corner. My name is Dennis, and it's time for part 3 of my collection update. 10 more titles last in this go around. Then we'll see when I get around to getting more titles to show off. So let's just dive straight into it. First up, well, if you watched, I want to say, my last part 2 video, I said I wasn't a fan of German editions or releases, and yet the first title here is a German release Blu-ray. I found a 4K title I wanted, only released in Germany, which you'll see later in this update. And just to get some value out of the shipping, I found a used Blu-ray that nobody else seems to want to release on Blu-ray. So I figured, why not get this one as well? Picked up Only the Strong. And no, it's not the movie that was released a few years ago about firefighters. This one's from, I want to say, 2006. A war movie, low budget war movie. It has Mark Dacascos in it. I don't remember what it's really about. It's Mark Dacascos and it's not martial arts. So it's probably not that high on my top 10 Mark Dacascos movies, but nonetheless, it's in the collection now. So almost started doubting myself if it had English audio or not, but it does, at least according to the cover. And thankfully, being a German edition, you can flip the cover around. Again, I don't know why they need this big a rating system. So thankfully, there's no rating on the cover I'm using. So yeah, Only the Strong first for the collection. Then again, in my first or second part, I already forgot. I'm not shooting this at the same time as I shot part 1 and 2, so I don't remember. But I picked up a few more Cine Asia titles, and I had Ip Man 1 and 2. And a friend of mine gave me those two, so I figured, why not start to slowly get the remaining titles that I could. And I found 3 on Amazon, used, pretty cheap, thankfully, in this case. So let's see, there's 3 titles. One I was kinda expecting a little more out of, and 2 I've never even seen before now. So well, I haven't seen any of them, but the first one was House of Fury. Let's see, it says, from producer Jackie Chan, from the action director of Kung Fu Hustle and Kill Bill 1 and 2, Yuen Woo-ping. Great action martial arts director. And Jackie Chan, you'd think that was a good combo. And then you have both Anthony Wong, and you have Michael Wong, no relation as far as I know. You have Daniel Wu, and there's a couple of other names I forgot the name of in this one. But you have, if you're into Chinese cinema, Hong Kong action, whatever you want to call it, there's a few names in this one you'd remember, and it was just an okay movie. There's some okay fight scenes, but I don't know if it's one I'll go back to that often. I had higher hopes for this one, but it's worth at least one watch. Next up, I picked up the Storm Warriors. I've checked this one out on Amazon several times and just never pulled the trigger. And it's a bit out there. It's that kind of Chinese sci-fi fantasy style-ish kind of movie. So if you're not into that, you'll probably not like this one. And I actually liked it. Just thought that it started off kind of weird. Like it was already in the middle of the story. And then I just realized, I checked online because I was wondering what's going on here. And then I found out it's the third movie in a trilogy, apparently. So, the first one was Storm Riders, I want to say it was called. And then the second one was called Cloud and Wind, something, something, something. Not any of them has not been released in the UK. I believe the first one was released in Hong Kong on Blu-ray. So, yeah, no wonder it started off a bit weird, but I actually enjoyed it. So, I kind of want to see the first two movies, even though it's not going to be that easy. Then, the final one, picked up The Sword with No Name. Didn't know this movie whatsoever. This is a Korean movie, and this was the biggest letdown of these three titles. No wonder I never even heard about it. So, if you see this cover, I like martial arts movies. That's no secret. That's a big reason why I pick up these titles, and there's pretty much none martial arts in this movie. There's a couple of small sword fight, and other than that, it's pretty much just a love story about this guy falling in love with a woman who's about to marry the king, so they can't be together, and blah blah blah, and he wants to protect her, blah 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 blah. And yeah, and there's if you've seen Chinese sci-fi fantasy movies, you know there's a crap ton of bad CGI in those movies. But I kind of expect it in those movies where it's the entire movie. In this one, there's one fight scene on a boat, and there's two butterflies flying around in this movie. And oh my god, the CGI. It's so terrible. It just threw me off completely. When it's just those two instances, it's just they couldn't have done that just a tad bit better. But yeah, this one was more or less just the one-time view in my case. Thankfully, I believe I paid £2, if that, for this. So I would have been a little more mad had I bought this brand new at full price. What was it back then? £10-15, I bet. So, yeah, one-time watch. And I've already talked way too much about it. Next up, we have three 88 films releases. 88 Films had a sale here recently because they wanted to get rid of remaining stock. They were moving warehouses, so I got a few titles pretty damn cheap, if I do say so myself. The first one, River of Death. Michael Dudikoff, American Ninja himself. Now, I have no recollection of ever having seen this or not. I don't know. I checked out the trailer before shooting this video, and it doesn't ring a bell, but I'll have to watch the entire movie to see if I've seen it or not. See if a bell rings. Also, Michael Dudikoff, Avenging Force. Now, this one I know I've seen. This one is... I've never been able to... Well, I haven't looked that much into it. But Michael Dudikoff's name in this movie is Matt Hunter. The same name that Chuck Norris uses in Invasion USA. And both movies released from Canon. So I don't know if this was meant to be a Chuck Norris movie and he passed on it and Michael Dudikoff got it, or it's just one big coincidence. I don't know. But I do remember having seen this movie. This one is kind of like Hard Target. I bet you've seen that one. I kind of like that premise in movies. Let's see, where rich ass white guys would not hunt other people for the sport of it, or just for the sport of it. And they did that in Hard Target. They do this, or they do that in this one, if I can get it out correctly. And let's see, there's a few others. Ice-T had Surviving the Game. And Lorenzo Lamas had Final Round. Where's that movie? 88 Films. Final Round. That I could use Final Round. I like that movie. And then more recently, The Hunt, which I didn't really like all that much. And of course, Hard Target 2 with Scott Adkins. But yeah, Avenging Force, hunting people. Yeah. And then finally, you have Porkies Revenge. I'm kind of surprised this one still had the slipcover. It's been out for a while. And let's see, that was my part 1 where I got the first Porkies. And I ordered this from 88 Films' own site, and I couldn't remember if this was the second one or the third one. And it came, and it's the third one. I don't mind that, but I kind of thought it was the second one. So it's just, where's the second one? And then I just realized, well, America has a double feature Blu-ray where the second and the third one is on. So apparently there's no single edition for the second one. So that kind of sucks, having the first one and the third one, not the second one. But yeah, surprised the slipcover still was available. It's been out for a while now. So, well, I'm not complaining. And next up from 101 Films. Granted, I bought this on eBay. Picked up Van Damme's The Quest. With 88 Films coming out with a line of Van Damme movies here shortly. I do have a bunch of them in combo packs, but I want the 88 Films movies where you have each edition on its own with slipcovers, and it's just that I just realized 101 had The Quest, and let's see, there's a few out in America with slipcovers, single editions, newer releases. Let's see, Scream Factory has Cyborg. Kind of want that. Not the biggest fan of Cyborg, but kind of want it. And let's see, was it Scorpion that released Death Warrant not too long ago? I like that movie. Want that one. But that's not here nor there. The Quest. I put up a tweet on Twitter. Surprise. Yeah, on Twitter. Asking 101 Films if this one and another movie still had the slipcovers. Imagine my surprise. No reply whatsoever. Even though I put up the tweet 2-3 times. I guess they just don't want to reply when it comes to stuff like that. So it's, well, I'll just get it off eBay then. So I did. Sadly, the slipcover has a big crease over here. And I don't know if you can see it. So I contacted the seller. At the time, he didn't have any more. He would be more than happy to send me another one. But as I said, he didn't have another one. So he just flat out refunded me and told me he would contact me when he had more, which never happened. I don't know if he forgot or I haven't gone back to check. So I don't know if I'll just accept this. it's the steelbook dilemma all over. The smallest damage to something I bought is just not too happy about that. But yeah, for now I have this in the collection. And then the 4K edition I bought from Germany, Crying Freeman, one of my all-time favorite Mark Dacascos movies. Pretty much the movie that made me a fan of his. It's a manga story, so that's, and I don't know if you guys know the movie or not, but that's the original artwork. And I have, I want to say right there above me, the steelbook. But I just I had to get the 4K edition too. So yeah, Crying Freeman, Mark Dacascos, Julie, his real life wife, and yeah, I love this movie. This movie and Drive, well worth the watch if you like Mark Dacascos movies. And then the final movie this go around, a steelbook. The Fifth Element. Now, you guys probably know by now that I'm a pretty big Bruce Willis fan. I have slowed down quite a bit in buying movies, especially steelbooks and all sorts of titles. I did have 3 editions, steelbook editions of Fifth Element, and I was just, why I don't need 3 editions. So I sold one, which was the one that was worth the most rather, and figured, okay, the first edition was just a regular Blu-ray, but it wasn't a remastered edition, and it was a steelbook CP from Willis Greedy bought me as a present, so no, I wasn't gonna get rid of that one. The second one was the Best Buy edition that had the 4K edition and the remastered Blu-ray. So I figured, well, it has the 4K and the remastered edition, I'm not gonna sell that. The third one was Kimchi DVD version of the steelbook, purple steelbook with the 4 elements symbols on the front. Pretty damn nice steelbook on its own, but yeah, Bruce Willis wasn't on it, Mila wasn't on it, there was no faces on it. I was just, okay, this one's worth a good amount of money. I can part way with this one. Long and behold, Savvy puts up a 4K pre-order for the Fifth Element, and now I have 3 steelbooks of the Fifth Element again. So, but I really liked this artwork, and it's, like I said, I have 2 other editions, and as you can see, this one's still sealed. I'm not in a rush to open this one. I don't need to open this one. I just needed it in my collection. So, yeah. 3 Fifth Element steelbooks again. So, yeah. That's that. So, there you have it. Part 3 in the books. Oh, 3 weeks, 3 videos, more than I've put out in a while. I don't get the views I would like, but I don't expect the views. I'm not that active, but thanks to those of you who do watch. Thanks to those who do comment, like, and subscribe. I've gotten a couple of new subscribers, so thanks to you guys. I'm gonna be making a few more videos here and there when I can. I have some titles coming in over the next couple of months, so hopefully it won't take too long for me to put out another video. So until then, thanks for watching. Peace out.